Hello, hello, and welcome to Fire Tuna Club. It's Kat, and I've been waiting so long to be able to post another upcycle video, but I finally had an idea that I thought I'd share with you. And it's simple enough that you should be able to make your own sort of riff on it and design your own stand, or even come up with ways to make a new one. As was the theme in my December, January videos, I have some missing footage. So, skipping that, I've shown a diagram here of what you need to know and the project list of things you need to have. The first thing you need is the recycled wood. If you don't have any, you can purchase some, but chances are if you check out your local newspaper, they give away their pallets. The next thing you need is sandpaper. If you don't really mind it being a little rough, coarse grain sandpaper should be perfect. But if you want a nice smooth finish to paint on or stain, you're gonna have to get incremental with going from coarse to fine. You can also mark either with the pencil I have listed or with a pen if you're going to paint it, or whatever you happen to have on hand. Chalk works too. You're also going to need a saw. If you have awesome power tools, if you're using power tools, get assistance if you need it. If you're underage, ask your parents to do it. Or if you just have a regular old manual hand saw, like I did, pray you don't get slanted edges like I did, or if you do, just roll with it. And listed here I have stains or paints. That depends on whatever you want to do. I personally used acrylic paint for mine. Don't forget to keep the length and width of your wood in mind when you begin your marking. For instance, for me, I made 2 single stands and a 3-in-1 that had pegs that were glued in. The other 2 were removable. I also wanted them in squares, so I made sure that the width of the wood matched the length where I was cutting. So, I don't necessarily have missing footage of the part of sewing the wood, but I did make some stupid mistakes and there was blood. So, we're gonna go straight to, after you've cut your wood, go ahead and get ready to sand it. Remember, if you want a smooth finish, you go from coarse to fine. If you're like me and you just wanted a basic stand to get your work done, I went coarse, just sanded off all the rough edges. You'll even see where a couple of times the wood wasn't necessarily quality wood, so parts of it broke off. Do keep that in mind with your project. Consider if you need quality wood, probably buy it, or make sure that you get a good pallet or a good plank wherever you happen to be picking up the recycled wood. If you're doing something that's meant to be damaged or hit or nicked and stuff, the quality of wood's not quite as important. So for step 3, I'm going to show you how I went about using dowel rods to make some permanent dowel stands for wig styling and some removable ones for drying after I've sprayed sealant for face-ups. Now you can deviate here on your own if you want to mold something directly to your stand. You'll probably want to do that first and then paint the stand. Or if you're going to fix the figure to the stand, you'll probably want to paint the stand first, drill differently than what I'm going to show you, and attach your figure to it. I know the steps are pretty simple, but by now you should either have a removable post for a stand to use, or if you went with the glue method, you should have a permanent one. And I'm going to also show you a variation of literally the same thing I just did with a store-bought piece of thin wood and another dowel rod and a little bit of metal wire to a doll stand for one of my dolls that had a very particular outfit that made it impossible to use a regular stand. The only difference here is instead of just making a post to go into the base, I drilled another hole into the top part. I used a dummy doll to check the sizing, and then I went ahead and used E6000 since it was a metal to wood friendly glue and glued everything in place. Hi guys! If you like what you saw and you want to see more, don't forget to like or subscribe to the channel. If you want to see what we're working on before we get it out, check out the sneak peeks on Instagram, or just follow us on Tumblr. Thanks for watching!